Many years ago, in a small, quiet village, life was simple, but it was never easy. Every day began before sunrise and ended only when darkness fell over the fields. Helena was born into this life. From the time she was a little girl, she helped her mother in the kitchen, worked on the farm, and learned very early on that survival meant endless hard work. But deep inside her heart, she carried a dream much bigger than her small village. Every evening, when the day's work was finally done, Helena would sit quietly on an old wooden fence. From there, she watched the train pass in the distance. To everyone else, it was just iron and smoke. But to Helena, it was a pathway to another life. A life where she could choose her own future. A life where she could be free. One day, her little brother sat down beside her. He looked at the distant train and then back at her, asking, "Why do you always look at the train?" Helena smiled and answered softly, "Because it goes to places where people are not stuck, places where I can live freely." Her parents were kind people, but they were also very strict. Her father, tall and strong, his skin weathered by years under the sun, often warned her. "Helena," he'd say, his voice heavy with concern, "the world outside is dangerous. A woman alone cannot survive out there." But she always stood firm, her chin held high. "I don't need anyone to protect me, Father. I want to fight for my own life." Her mother listened quietly to these conversations. Later that night, she sat beside Helena, her voice gentle but filled with a quiet fear. "If you ever go," she said, her hands trembling just a little, "be careful. The world is not always a kind place." Then she pressed a small cloth bag into Helena's hand. Inside were coins she had secretly saved over many years. "If you leave," she whispered, "take this with you. It's not much, but it's a start." Weeks passed. The seasons began to turn, but Helena's mind never left the idea of the city. The bustling roads she imagined, the life she so desperately dreamed of. Then, one early morning, long before the village woke, Helena made her decision. She packed 2 simple dresses, a light blanket, and the small bag of coins her mother had given her. On the kitchen table, she left a short note. It simply said, "Don't look for me. I am not lost. I am going to fight for my dream." When her father read the note, a storm of anger and fear filled his heart. Without a second thought, he jumped onto his horse and rode through the village, his voice echoing in the quiet morning as he called her name, absolutely determined to bring his daughter back. But Helena was already far away. She was walking alone on the dusty road that led to the train station. With each step, her simple shoes grew heavy with dust, but her heart felt incredibly light. It wasn't the lightness of carelessness, but the lightness of freedom. For the very first time in her life, Helena was walking toward her own future. A future she would build with her own 2 hands. This was just the beginning of her story. The road ahead was long and uncertain, but it was hers to walk. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by Helena's courage, please like this video and subscribe for more stories of strength and determination.